Runners are moving in for trial 1 this morning. As Follow the Nature was Platinum Fort was the first runner to move in after the turn of Filial Dragon. Tornado Pegasus moves in. Super Happy. Follow the Nature moves in. And we're left with Dancing Light to complete the field. Dancing Light steps forward. Set for a start here. 1,000 meters to travel. Trial 1. Gates are open. Sent on their way from that 1,000 meter mark. Super Happy broke out on speed with Platinum Fort and pushing forward his Tornado Pegasus to make it a line of 3. Heading down the back straight. Then comes Follow the Nature, who's racing 3 deep on the outside of runners. Just in behind that is Dancing Light, and Filial Dragon is on the inside of runners, is racing towards the back end of the field with about 3 to 4 lengths that cover them. It's a close and compact field as they are homeward bound with just on 500 meters left to travel. To change in order, Tornado Pegasus has now picked up the lead. Platinum Fort up on the outside in second. Now moving up in between the gaps, you've got Filial Dragon as well as Dancing Light, 4 lengths away to Super Happy, and Follow the Nature, the grey, is last of all. Coming past the final 250 meters now. Tornado Pegasus still the one in front, but challenged up on the outside by Platinum Fort, who's found a good kick into the closing stages. And Platinum Fort's going to win well and when extending away from his opposition. Second place is going to go towards Tornado Pegasus, just ahead of Filial Dragon. Then came Follow the Nature, Dancing Light, and last across the line was Super Happy. So Platinum Fort comes home to win trial 1 under Nutman for the Ricky Choi stable. Of course, this is part of the Platinum Racing stables, who enjoyed their first winners about 2 weeks ago. And Platinum Fort wins this trial by just under a length, with Tornado Pegasus back in second. Third place went the way of Filial Dragon. Fourth was the Grey, Follow the Nature. Then came Dancing Light, who was back in 5th. And last across the line was Super Happy in 6th. So just to repeat those numbers, the field of 6 here. Platinum Fort, the winner, followed by Tornado Pegasus in 2nd. 3rd place, Filial Dragon. 4th place, Follow the Nature. In 5th we had Dancing Light. And Super Happy was the back marker in 6th place. That concludes Barrier Trial 1. Up next is Trial 2, and that should begin in approximately 6 or 7 minutes' time. Runners and riders for Barrier Trial 2. Chevelle Artist, S. John, Stryan Smart, CK Core, Kim Empire, Winston Cheer, Limbs Punjak Jaya, Shafiq, Night Warrior to be ridden by CK Un, Lucky Baby Atmazani, Pataya, AK Lim, and Al Sheikh will be ridden by Fikri. Runners and riders for Barrier Trial 2, which is up next. and they'll be making their way down to the 1,000 meter mark shortly. So Chevelle Artist, the first runner to move in. Now for the grade cap of Strong and Smart, CK Core. CK Core and Shafiq's colours pretty much identical. And Shafiq sports the black cap. As Lucky Baby is about to move in. Field of 8 runners for this trial, once again over 1,000 meters. Pattaya steps forward. Now for the turn of Kim Empire. And we're left with 3 more runners left to load. Lims Punjat Jaya, one of them. Al Sheikh, as well as Night Warrior. Al Sheikh steps forward. Night Warrior moves in. And Lims Punjat Jaya completes the field. Set for a start here, 1,000 meters. Handler moves away. And Lucky Baby rearing up badly in the starting stalls. Settles. And they're away and trialing from the 1,000 meter mark. Lims Punjat Jaya hit the ground running, as well as Pattaya. Those two lead the field early on. Down towards the inside is Cheval Artist, now being passed up on the outside by Al Sheikh, as well as Night Warrior, who's getting on with things up in front. So a complete change in the order now. It's Night Warrior that's drawn up to dictate the fractions. Second place, Al Sheikh. Then down towards the inside rail, we've got Lims Punjat Jaya, followed by Pattaya. Racing just in behind those, you find Strong and Smart, now being passed by Kim Empire. And towards the back end of the field is Cheval Artist, and a long way back to Lucky Baby. Homeward bound with 400 meters left to travel. Up in front, it's Night Warrior by the better half of 3 lengths. Down towards the inside, you've got Lims Punjat Jaya joined alongside by Strong and Smart. Kim Empire is running on towards the outside of runners, but it's home and hosed here for Night Warrior, who's going to win. It's standing into the closing stages. Absolutely no contest here. Will win by about 3 lengths. Running on into second place was Strong and Smart, followed by further back in the field Lims Punjat Jaya. Then came Kim Empire. Long way back to Cheval Artist, followed by Al Sheikh. Then came Pattaya, and last across the line was Lucky Baby, who was never in the trial. So Night Warrior comes over to win trial 2 this morning. And wins in a rather comfortable fashion. Second place went the way of Strong and Smart, followed by Lims Punjat Jaya, the similar Silks, finishing second and third. I've got no replay to show you, so it's a bit difficult to run through the results. I can tell you first, second and third, Night Warrior was the winner, followed by Strong and Smart in second. Third place went the way of Lims Punjat Jaya. But I can't tell you anything else, because there has been no replay up on the screen for trial 2. So I can only confirm the first 3 for now. Until the replay comes through, then I'll be able to announce it over the speaker. But first 3, Night Warrior the winner, followed by Strong and Smart, and Lims Punjat Jaya was back in third placing. So up next we'll have barrier trial 3 for the morning, and the runners and riders will appear on screen shortly. Up next is Barrier Trial 3 for the morning, and your runners and riders. Starting off with Vigor. It's ridden by Lutman. Rubik Kid will be ridden by Amar. Mission 5, AK Lim. Groovy, it's ridden by S. John. Don't Forget Boss, now it's ridden by HS Gill. Imperial Genie, it's ridden by CK Core. Pacific Commander will be ridden by Lala D'Souza. And it seems that Pacific Flash has made his way into this trial. And Pacific Flash will be ridden by Esper Howden. So those are your runners and riders for Barrier Trial 3, which is up next. And the runners and riders will make their way down to the start shortly. The first couple of runners have moved in already. Mission 5 about to move in. Groovy stepped forward. Don't Forget Boss will be running this weekend. Now for the turn of Imperial Genie. Moves in. And we're left with 2 more runners left to load. Looks like Pacific Flash is the next runner to move in. And the last of the runners, Pacific Commander. Pacific Commander steps forward. And we're set for a start here, 1,000 meters to travel. Gates are open, sent on their way from the 1,000 meter mark, and the start has taught them to a pretty level beginning. Mission 5 hopped out smartly alongside Rubik Kid, also showing paces Groovy in the blue silks up on the outside of runners. Further back to Imperial Genie, then racing along the inside is the likes of Vigor. Further back from the field to Pacific Commander and Pacific Flash. They travel right alongside each other. And a long way back, outpaced is Don't Forget Boss, who gives the leader about 7 length starts as they approach the top of the straight now with just on 500 meters left to travel. It's a line of 3 towards the inside, Rubik Kid. Mission 5 in the middle, deep right in the blue silks is Groovy. Then further back in the running, we've got Imperial Genie. Down towards the inside is Vidor, racing alongside Pacific Commander, and outpaced is Don't Forget Boss as they're into the final 200 meters now. And up in front it's Rubik Kid, right alongside Mission 5. Nothing separating the two. Down towards the inside, Vidor starting to run on, but with just on 50 meters left to travel up on the outside, Mission 5 picks it up. And Mission 5's just going to win by the better half of a no. Second place, Rubik Kid. Vidor was back in third. Fourth, gets very close. Don't Forget Boss finished off really strongly. An encouraging trial heading into the weekend. Then you got Imperial Genie, who was just in behind those. Pacific Commander, Pacific Flash were a long way back, followed by Groovy. So Mission 5 under AK Lim will win Trial 3 this morning. Just gets his nose down at the right time. Was right up there with Rubik Kid for the majority of the trial. But heading into the final 50 meters or so, it will be Mission 5 who just gets his head down in time. Second place, Rubik Kid. Third place went the way of Vigor. Fourth was Imperial Genie. And finishing off the trial really nicely was Don't Forget Boss, who was back in 5th. Then came Pacific Commander, followed by Pacific Flash in 7th. And then Groovy was back in 8th and completed the field. So just to repeat those numbers, Mission 5 the winner. Rubik Kid was back in 2nd. Third place Vigor. In 4th you had Imperial Genie. 5th place went to Don't Forget Boss. In 6th was Pacific Commander. 7th Pacific Flash. And last across the line in 8th was Groovy. That completes Barrier Trial 3. Up next is Trial 4, and once again it will be over 1,000 meters. Up next is Barrier Trial 4 for the morning. And the runners and riders for this trial. Jewel 61 will be ridden by Fikri. The Wild Fluffy to be ridden Well, looks like it says unrated silver, so we'll wait for confirmation on that. Cheerful Baby to be ridden by Akmazani. Dragon Master will be ridden by Nutman. The Wild Chief to be ridden by Shafiq. The Invincible S. John. And Tenet 10 Tenet to be ridden by CK On. So the Wild Fluffy is either going to be ridden by Unrated Silver or KC Tam. We'll wait for confirmation on that. But the runners and riders will make their way down to the start shortly. First one to move in, Jewel 61. 3 runners who will be running on Sunday. Jewel 61, the Wild Fluffy and Dragon Master. There's the second of the runners, the Wild Fluffy, moves in. Cheerful Baby steps forward. Dragon Master moves in. The Wild Chief. Now for the turn of the Invincible. And just one more runner left to load. Tenet 10 Tenet. And we'll be set for a start. Moves in, 1,000 meters. Gates are open, and they're sent on their way from the 1,000 meter mark. The Wild Fluffy didn't get the best of breaks and will have to race in the back end of the field early on. Cheerful Baby, on the other hand, broke out well with Tenet 10 Tenets, who's also right up there in a handy position. The Wild Chief settles on the leading duo, only about 2 lengths off the leader, joined alongside by Jill 61. 3 lengths further back in range to Dragon Master. That's racing on the inside of the Invincible. And watching the trial unfold, last of all, is the Wild Fluffy. As the homeward bound with just on 500 metres left to travel, it's Cheerful Baby who's up in front alongside Jill 61. Deep route on the track is Tenet 10 Tenet. They're being followed by the Wild Chief. Deep route to the Invincible. Down towards the inside is Dragon Master in the red and white silks. And last of all is the Wild Fluffy, starting to make some progress towards the back end of the field. 200 metres left to travel now, and up on the outside is the Wild Chief that's picked it up, swooped into the lead. Down towards the inside, you've got Dragon Master, who's trying to fight back into the closing stages. But it's going to be the Wild Chief that's going to come home to win by about half a length. Second place, going the way of Dragon Master. Third place might have just gone to Cheerful Baby, ahead of Tenet 10 Tenet. Then you had Jill 61, who was further back in the running, and followed by the Wild Fluffy, and last across the line was the Invincible. The Wild Chief under Shafiq swept into the lead up on the outside with about 250 metres left to go, and will win rather comfortably in this trial. Nice trial by Dragon Master down towards the inside in second. Dragon Master will be racing on Sunday. So a few runners from these trials to keep an eye out on for this weekend. But the Wild Chief, with a really nice turn of foot, comes home to win by just about half a length with the run down to the wire. So the Wild Chief, the winner, followed by Dragon Master. Third place went to Cheerful Baby, followed by Tenet 10 Tenet, who was back in fourth. Jill 61 finished in fifth. And it was quite some way to the back duo, with the Invincible, who was back in sixth. And then came the Wild Fluffy, who finished last of all in seventh. So just to repeat those numbers: the Wild Chief, the winner; Dragon Master, second; Cheerful Baby was back in third; fourth place, Tenet 10 Tenet; fifth, Jewel 61; in sixth we had the Invincible; seventh was the Wild Fluffy; and that completes the field for the running of Trial 4. Up next is Trial 5, and that once again will be contested over 1,000 metres. And the runners and riders for that trial will appear on screen shortly. Runners and riders for Barrier Trial 5 this morning, as we are approaching the halfway mark. Tan the Man will be ridden by Atmazani. Salamence to be ridden by AK Lim. Great Command, CK Call. Wind of Dubai to be ridden by S. John. Pacific Charm, Lala de Souza. Ace Sovereign, G. Farhan. Amazing Breeze, Andre de Silva. And Boomba will be ridden by Nutman. Those are your runners and riders for Trial 5, which will be up next shortly. And here's a repeat of trial 2 quickly. Just to quickly run through the results. It was Night Warrior, the winner, followed by Strong and Smart in second. Third place was Limbs Punjat Jaya. So just quickly running through the results for Barrier Trial 2. Kim Empire was back in fourth. Followed just in behind that by Pattaya in fifth. Then came Cheval Artist in sixth, followed by Al Sheikh in seventh. And last across the line was Lucky Baby. So the results coming through for Barrier Trial 2, which we missed out on earlier. Just to repeat those numbers, Night Warrior, the winner, followed by Strong and Smart in second. Limbs Punjat Jaya was third. Kim Empire fourth. Fifth place Pattaya. In sixth was Cheval Artist. Seventh Al Sheikh. And Lucky Baby was back in eighth place. So just to repeat those numbers for Barrier Trial 2. Wind of Dubai about to move in. So already about half the field has stepped forward. A Sovereign. And just 3 more runners left to load. Boomba, Amazing Breeze. As well as Pacific Charm. Amazing Breeze moves in. Pacific Charm steps forward, and Boomba will complete the field. 1,000 meters. Gates are open. Sent on their way from the 1,000 meter mark. Amazing Breeze and Boomba were both slow into stride. Give them a chance to settle fully into stride. Great Command was one of the first ones to respond. Also showing pace up on the outside of runners is Ace Sovereign. They're followed by Pacific Charm. Down towards the inside is Tan, the man who holds the rail. Racing in fourth. Racing up on the outside of that one is Salamence, now being passed. Up deeper out on the track by Amazing Breeze and Boomba, who's trying to improve around runners. After that slow start and a long way back, and outpaced is Wind of Dubai, who's easily about 20 lengths off the leader. Top of the straight now with 400 meters left to travel is Great Command with the narrow advantage over Ace Sovereign. In between those, you've got Pacific Charm, followed by Tan the Man. Deeper out is Salamence, racing just ahead of Amazing Breeze and Boomba as they're into the final 200 meters now. And up on the outside, it's Ace Sovereign. It might have just picked it up from down towards the inside. Great Command. These two left to fight it out, and running on his Salamence with the run down to the wide. Going to get close, but the inside's going to nab it all. So Great Command is just going to get there on the line, followed by in second Ace Sovereign running on deep routes on the track. You had Salamence, followed by fast finishing Tan the Man. Further back in the field, Pacific Charm. And a long way back to Wind of Dubai, who was never really in the trial and practically walked across the line. So the inside will just nab it here on the line. This Great Command will win trial 5 this morning. Beats home Ace Sovereign, who was up on the outside in second. Finishing off the trial nicely was Salamence in third. They were followed by Tan the Man, who also finished off the trial well enough. Just in behind that, Pacific Charm was back in fifth. Then came Amazing Breeze, who was in sixth. Followed by Boomba in seventh. And a long way back to Wind of Dubai, who failed to pick up a gallop, really. So just to repeat those numbers, Great Command, the winner, and he'll be running on this Sunday, Great Command. Second place, Ace Sovereign, another runner who will feature this Sunday. Third place, Salamence. Fourth, Tan the Man. Fifth was Pacific Charm. In sixth, we had Amazing Breeze. Seventh went to Boomba, and eighth went the way of Wind of Dubai. That completes Barrier Trial 5 this morning. Up next is Trial 6, 1,000 meters. Up next is Barrier Trial 6 this morning. The runners and riders: Storm Deity to ridden by Akmazani, Mr. Hooper, A.K. Lim, Pacific Beauty, Andre de Silva, Forget Romance, Lala de Souza, Wait You Know will be ridden by S. John, Smoke and Mirrors to be ridden by Shafiq, and Santino will be ridden by C.K. Cole. Those are your runners and riders for Barrier Trial 6 this morning, and it should commence in about 5 minutes' time. And the runners are moving in for trial 6 this morning. Pacific Beauty, the first runner to move in. Just the field of 6 runners. Mr. Hooper has been scratched from this trial. Forget Romance moves in. Wait You Know. That's half the field so far. Storm Deity moves in. 2 more runners left to load. Smoke and Mirrors and Santino. Smoke and Mirrors is about to move in. And Santino will complete the field. Santino bundled up. Moves in. 1,000 meters, 6 runners. Gates are open and sent in their way from the 1,000 meter mark. The starters taught them to a pretty level beginning. Taking a hold early on was Smoke and Mirrors. You have to race in the back end of the field. Pacific Beauty broke out quickest of all and leads the field heading down the back straight with Forget Romance. Storm Deity holds his spots on the rail, racing in third, currently 2.5 lengths off the leader. Improving around runners is Santino. Then comes Wait You Know, and at the back end of the field is Smoke and Mirrors, who's easily about 5 to 6 lengths off the gallop, but is detached from the rest of the runners. Approaching the final 450 meter mark now, Pacific Beauty is up in front, but he's got company with Forget Romance. Deeper out on the track is Santino. 2 lengths further back in range is Storm Deity, followed by Wait You Know, and Smoke and Mirrors continues to see them all and is racing about a dozen lengths off the leader with 200 meters left to travel. Down towards the inside is Pacific Beauty, but deeper out on the track now is Santino, who's finishing very strongly alongside Forget Romance. These 3 with the run down to the line. Very close. Maybe the inside. I think Pacific Beauty gets up to win it from Santino. In between those, you had Forget Romance. And then a big breakaway of about 6 or 7 lengths to Storm Deity, followed by Wait You Know. And then came Smoke and Mirrors. So it looks like Pacific Beauty has got up to win here. Santino really started to catch the eye up on the outside and was finishing off really strongly. But Pacific Beauty was just asked to quicken it a little bit extra in the final 50 meters. And with the run down to the line, will win by a head. Pacific Beauty the winner, followed by in second Santino. Third place went the way of Forget Romance. And then a long way back in range to Storm Deity, who was back in fourth. Wait You Know was back in fifth. And then Smoke and Mirrors was never in this trial and finished a long way back in sixth. So just to repeat those numbers, Pacific Beauty the winner. Santino was in second. Third place Forget Romance. Fourth was Storm Deity. In fifth was Wait You Know. And Smoke and Mirrors was last of all in sixth place. That completes Barrier Trial 6. Up next is Barrier Trial 7. And this is the last of our trials over 1,000 meters. Before we move over to Trials 8 and 9, which will be contested over 400 meters respectively. Up next is trial 7 for the morning. Power Projection will be ridden by KC Lowe. Pride of Love to be ridden by Zilhilmi. Pacific Fortune, Saifuddin. The Wild Prince to be ridden by KC Tam. Kalmani to be ridden by Atmazani. Master Player, Shafiq. And Clone Man will be ridden by J. Daniel. Those are the runners and riders for Barrier Trial 7. Up next, and the last of the trials over 1,000 meters. Pride of Love, the first runner to move in. This is trial 7 for the morning. Just 3 trials remaining. As Pacific Fortune steps up. Field of 7 runners here. As Kalmani is about to move in. Kalmani moves in. Master Player. And we're left with 3 more runners left to load. Clone Man. Steps forward. The Wild Prince. The last of the runners will be Power Projection. And we'll be set for a start. Power Projection. Moves in. Handler moves away 1,000 meters. And they're away and trialing. And one of the runners stood in the stalls, and that was Pride of Love, who reared up when the starters said go, and easily lost about a dozen lengths coming out of the starting stalls. Power Projection broke out well towards the inside, but is quickly challenged up on the outside by Clone Man, as well as the Wild Prince, who's in between runners as those 3 lead the field heading to the turn. Then 5 lengths breakaway further back to Master Player, who's racing out on the outside of Kalmani. And then a further breakaway of about 5 lengths in running to Pacific Fortune, and Pride of Love, after that slow start, is racing last of all and easily about 10 lengths off the leader. 400 meters left to travel at the top of the straight, and Power Projection is the one in front. The Wild Prince is back in second, challenged by Clone Man. Deep routes on the track is Kalmani, who's hard up on the outside rail. Then further back in the running to Master Players. They're into the final 150 meters now to Power Projection. That's gone clear. Deep routes on the track is Kalmani, who's starting to run a big trial. Then back towards the inside is the Wild Prince, but it's all Power Projection who wins easing up at the line. Second place will go to Kalmani. Third placing went to the Wild Prince, followed by Clone Man. Further back in the running, you had Pacific Fortune. Then came Master Player and Pride of Love, who reared as soon as the gates opened up, stood in the stalls for a bit, and then jumped, was last of all. So the winner is Power Projection. Down towards the inside on a KC low. Hard up on the outside rail was Kalmani under Akmazani, which was an interesting decision. Because most times the outside, I think the going's actually a little bit better than the inside. The Power Projection wins here by about 3 to 4 lengths. Second place going to Kalmani. Third place in the Wild Prince. Followed by Clone Man, who was back in fourth. Then came Pacific Fortune, who was in 5th, followed by Master Player in 6th, and Pride of Love, after that slow start, was last of all back in 7th. So to repeat those numbers, Power Projection the winner, Kalmani in 2nd, 3rd placing the Wild Prince, 4th was Clone Man, in 5th you had Pacific Fortune, 6th place Master Player, and last across the line in 7th was Pride of Love. Up next is Trial 8 as we move now to the 400 meter mark for our last 2 trials of the morning. And the runners and riders will appear up on screen for Trial 8 shortly. Penultimate trial for the morning, barrier trial 8 of 400 meters. Starting off with Captain Singapore, who'll be ridden by Bahaudan. Exit Strategy, CK Ung. Taling Pling will be ridden by J. Ikram. Tommy Gunn, Nazir. Show All 61, Uzair. Platinum Boss, Etsi Lian. And the unnamed runner will be ridden by Nutman. Those are the runners and riders for trial 8, which will be up next in about 6 or 7 minutes' time. And the runners are about to begin the loading process for the penultimate trial this morning. Seems like they're working on Captain Singapore. He's just been a little bit reluctant to move in at this stage. So I think they'll begin the loading process with another runner. And it looks like Exit Strategy will be the first one to move in. And does so quietly. Talane Plane steps forward. And Captain Singapore seems very uncomfortable moving in, but he does so. Field of 7 runners for this 400 meter trial. Next runner being called to load is Tommy Gunn. Moves in. Show all 61. And we're just left with 2 more runners left to load. Platinum Boss. And the last runner is the unnamed runner, which will be ridden by Nookman. The unnamed runner just shies away at the first attempt. As a few runners are becoming a little bit fractious in the starting stalls. There's the unnamed runner. Is 3/4 of the way in. And now moves in. 400 meters to jump, flags up. Gates are open, sent in the way from that 400 meter mark. Towards the inside is Captain Singapore with Exit Strategy. Down the center, Talane Pling shows any amount of pace and goes forward to lead the field. Deep route, Platinum Boss with the unnamed runner. Then just in behind those is Tommy Gunn, followed by Show All 61. 100 meters left to travel. It's Talane Pling up in front with the unnamed runner. And deep route on the track. The unnamed runner's got the speed to lead and will win. Unnamed runner will get there just ahead of Talane Pling. Third place went the way of Platinum Boss, followed by Show All 61. Then came Tommy Gunn, followed by Exit Strategy and Captain Singapore. The unnamed runner up on the outside, ridden by Nookman. Certainly showed a quick turn of foot going past the 150. And we'll just pip Talane Pling on the line. So the unnamed runner will beat home Talane Pling. Third place went to Platinum Boss. Fourth gets quite tight between Tommy Gunn and Show All 61 as they hit the line together. And on that, it might just go to the inside Tommy Gunn, I think. I think Tommy Gunn does enough to get fourth, just ahead of Show All 61 in fifth. Sixth place went the way of Exit Strategy, and Captain Singapore was last across the line in 7th. So repeat those numbers. The unnamed runner, the winner. Tallinn Pling in 2nd. 3rd place, Platinum Boss. 4th place was Tommy Gunn. In 5th was Shoal 61. 6th, Exit Strategy. And 7th was Captain Singapore, who completed the field last of all. Up next is Trial 9, the last of our trials this morning. And it will once again be contested over 400 meters. Last of the trials for the morning, and we're starting off with 3 unnamed runners. The first one will be ridden by Nutman. The second of the unnamed runners will be ridden by Farhan, and the third unnamed runner will be ridden by HS Gill. All 3 for the Johnny Lim stable. Campionessa, to ridden by Lala de Souza. Running Spirits, Uzair. Shen Prajier, to ridden by Ikram. Run Buddy Run will be ridden by Bahaudan, and Ben's Champion will be ridden by Zul Hilmi. Those are the runners and riders for the 9th and final trial this morning, and it will be contested over 400 meters. Runners are moving in for the last trial this morning. Shen Progier, the first runner to move in. Field of 8 runners here. As Run Buddy Run is the next runner to step forward. Now for the turn of Campionessa, who moves in. Running Spirit. There are 3 unnamed runners in this trial, so I'll just call them accordingly as their respective jockeys aboard. All 3 unnamed runners from the Johnny Lim stable will be ridden by Nookman, Farhan and HS Gill, and will be in barriers 1, 2 and 3. So the first of the unnamed runners, there's MRA brand as U112, with Nookman aboard, moves in. The second of the unnamed runners, MRA brand U113 under G Farhan, steps forward. And the third of the unnamed runners under HS Steel, the merit rating brand, or the MRA brand of U95, will be the last of the unnamed runners, and then we're still waiting on Ben's champion, who will complete the field. So the third unnamed runner under HS Gill moves in. And now for the turn of Ben's champion, who has worked up a bit of a sweat behind the starting stalls. Moves straight in. Handler moves away. 400 meters. Gates are open. Sent on their way from that 400 meter mark. The unnamed runner under Gill was 1 or 2 lengths slow into stride. The other 2 unnamed runners towards the inside under Nookman and Farhan broke out very quickly and go straight to the lead. Then comes Run Buddy Run, followed by the third unnamed runner. Deep out on the track, you've got Ben's champion racing with Campionessa, but it's all about the unnamed runner under Farhan, who shows him a clean set of heels and wins by about 3 lengths. Second place is the other unnamed runner, and it could be a third place of the unnamed runner as well under Nookman. Then further back in the field we had Run Buddy Run, Ben's champion, Deep Route Campionessa, and then came Shen Progier. And Running Spirits was also involved just in behind those. So the unnamed runner with the MOA brand of U113, ridden by Farhan, will take home the 9th trial this morning. And wins rather comfortably in this 400 meter jump out, and wins by about 3 lengths at the end. Second place was the third of the unnamed runners under HS Steel. U95 is the MRA brand. Third placing goes to the first of the unnamed runners under Nookman, so all unnamed runners, first, second, and third. And the MIA brand, there's U112. Fourth place went towards the outside, Campionessa, finished just ahead of Run Buddy Run, who was back in 5th. Then came Ben's champion in 6th, followed by Shen Progier. And Running Spirit was last of all. So just to repeat those numbers, the unnamed runner under Farhan, the winner, followed by the unnamed runner under HS Skill, followed by the unnamed runner under R. Nookman. 4th place went to Campionessa. 5th place Run Buddy Run. 6th place Ben's champion. 7th was Shen Progier. And 8th was Running Spirit. That completes Barrier Trial 9, the 9th and final of our trials here this morning. Thank you very much for joining us. And we will be back here this Sunday where racing takes place once again. And at this stage, it seems like it will be a card of 12 races. So plenty of racing action taking place here at the Senegal Turf Club this Sunday. Thank you very much for joining us. And if you missed out on the trials, you can always catch them again on the website and look at the results from this morning's trials there as well. Until then, farewell and see you at the races this Sunday.